Billy, what is the symbolism of Putin and Xi meeting at Vladivostok?
10 years ago, we would never have guessed that a sleepy topic like trade would cause such a stir politically and globally. Right now, the trade battles are over where the coalitions are going to form the new trading order. And Xi and Putin are trying to position themselves to be a bloc against the U.S. and the EU.
I don't know who will write the next book. Maybe Fareed Zakaria, ex-student of Mr. Huntington, but maybe it's The Vacuum of Civilizations. How urgent, important, or discreet is the vacuum of American foreign policy as we see this moment in Vladivostok?
The vacuum actually is a good word because vacuum has to be filled with something. And I think the U.S. is trying to fill that vacuum with a different kind of foreign policy, a foreign policy that's based on bilateralism and not multilateralism. And that is something the world is getting used to and yet to shape what the new framework is going to look like.
But Bill, good morning to you. Do you think people are just a little bit concerned, overly concerned about the trade war, that actually this will automatically die down and that this reshifting of foreign policy at the end of the day won't mean that much? Or on the other hand, do you think people are underestimating the deep changes that it will cause over the world economy?
Great question, Francine. I think all this talk about trade and tariffs and what goods are being tariffed, I think that's missing the point. The point is, where will be the trade strategies for the next century and the next decade? And that's going to be on market access and protecting intellectual property. And that's where the big domestic markets, China, U.S., EU, are trying to get together and saying, how do we divide our economies in a way that gives us everybody market access, at the same time preserving intellectual capital? That's where the strategy is being formed. That's where the negotiating is going to take place. And that's where the war is going to be fought.
Okay, what does a U.S. foreign policy actually mean for the world economy, if anything?
Well, foreign policy is going to be driven by the need to ensure that U.S. industries are able to go into other countries around the world, do business there, and still protect their profit opportunities. And similarly, to give others access to the U.S. marketplace without destroying U.S. industry. And foreign policy and domestic policy is going to be much more interlinked.